Hi, welcome to Part of My Frenchie. This is me, 143. If you don't have a friend, you have one now. Welcome to my live chat tonight. This is my first live chat, and I welcome you. I hope that everybody can join here shortly. And let's see, we've got one person here joining. Let me add you as your moderator here. Let's see here. Put that there. So we're going to wait for a couple more people to join on here. And we've got the dogs here on the couch today. We've got Rosie walking around and Coco is behind me. So we are going to get this rolling. This is something that I've been wanting to start doing, the live chats. I know that I do mostly my recordings, my taped recordings, and I wanted to start doing some live chats because, you know, often I do mostly the kitchen edition and then the couch editions, but a lot of times people don't realize how I started doing what I do. And I wanted to do a YouTube channel for a long time. And my backstory is I started a pet loss support group about 9-10 years ago. And it's something that was very near and dear to my heart. And I ran that for a long time, and then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, it kind of shut down all of the groups. And then we had to go to, basically an online feature. And honestly, it affected a lot of people. They didn't get the support they needed. And I thought, well, let's kind of take it to YouTube. And unfortunately, I wasn't very tech savvy at the time, and it caused a little bit of a little bit of a problem. So, but a couple years later, I figured things out and started my channel. But the good news is that over the past year and a half, we developed a studio, and we developed, working out some of the bugs and some of the kinks. Oh, wait, we've got Coco behind me. Coco's wanting to say hi. So Coco's saying hi real quick. She's back here on the couch saying hi. So say hi to Coco. And so this is Coco Chanel. She's our little deaf one here. So say hi to Coco. I'm sure Rosie will be around here shortly as well. So yes, Coco is our little stinker. She gets into a lot of problems, but we love her to death. But anyways, but yeah, so let me kind of back up. And I know this is what she does. Coco is a big lover. But so let me kind of back up and tell you from the beginning and kind of introduce myself, because I don't think in all of my videos that I've ever done that. I've never kind of given you who I am, or how this is all began. So basically it was, it's maybe been a good 15-16 years ago. I'll bring this over here right now. Try not to get the glare here, but I had all these guys here, and if you can see on the couch, there's myself, and then I've got 4 little guys here. And unfortunately, I lost 3 of them probably within a 6-month period. 6-7 month period. And this guy over here was the first one that I lost. His name was Sammy. And when I lost him, that was probably that was a loss that honestly pretty much shattered my world, to be very, very honest. Um, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the depth of pet loss. And I um, couldn't wrap my head around why. I couldn't wrap my head around why people. Um, I couldn't wrap my head around why I was grieving so hard um, over the loss, and it would go months, and I just couldn't figure out why. Uh, the loss hit me so hard, and so I found out that, or what I realized is that pet loss and pet grief is a very, very real thing. And it's a very, very lonely place, to be very honest. And with that, pet loss and grief is a very, it's not anything like a human loss. Let's put it that way. It's very different. Pet loss is a more intimate loss. You take care of your animals 24/7, 365 a year. They love you unconditionally, and there's no comparison to a human loss. That's why it affects you differently. You take care of these animals. You take care of these animals, you know, nonstop. And so when they pass, it affects you differently. Whereas with a human loss, there's no comparison. We love humans differently than we love, pets. And so there, you can't compare the two. But and also people in your family will have a different connection with the pets based on the care you take, based on the connection that you have. And so with that, society, unfortunately, has not grasped the fact that pet loss and grief is a real thing. And they try to shame people into thinking it's just a dog, it's just a cat. And unfortunately, it's a sad thing. So when it hit me with my first dog, that's why I felt alone. I felt that there was something wrong with me. And, again, it was, I had, people in my family and it didn't affect them the same way. So, and there was nothing wrong with that. It didn't mean the people in my family didn't care for the dog the same way that I did. I just had a different connection with them, with the dog, than they did, which is why I grieve differently. But when I dove in and I studied and, learned more about pet loss and grief, I found out that, yes, there's a different connection. And yes, it's a real thing. So absolutely, this is something that I needed to find out. And this is something that I needed to get into so that I could help more people, which is why, when I say, if you don't have a friend, you have a friend now, because it is a very lonely world. And I want people to know that you're not alone. If you feel, alone during your journey of pet loss grief, you need to know that you're not alone. If you don't have a friend, you have one now, because whether you know it or not, several people are on your journey with you. Every single day people lose a pet. And wherever I go, it's interesting because wherever I go, if I bring up that I do pet loss and grief, I guarantee there is somebody that will say to me, and I don't care if they've lost a pet yesterday or if they lost a pet 10 years ago, somebody has a story. And that is probably one of the best parts of the thing that I do. I love to hear the story. I feel extremely blessed when people allow me on their journey to be a part of the stories, because those are a window into their lives. That's a just a glimpse into part of their family, and I feel blessed that I get to be a part of that. How special is that you get to be a part of that. I love it, and I've talked to people all over the world, and it's a wonderful thing. And that's why when COVID hit and kind of the um, meetings came to an end for a while, it was sad. It was sad. I lost that connection with people. And, again, then I thought, well, what better way? How could I reach more people? And then the only answer was, hey, start a YouTube channel. Start a YouTube channel. You can reach more people if you started a YouTube channel. So then I hopped on YouTube, and then I was like, well, hey, how do I do that? I had no idea how to start a YouTube channel. And so I thought, well, okay, here I am. And, I'm, started building from there. I thought if I can, start this and learn to edit and build a studio and just do different things like that, then I can, try to make it work. Right. So I started building on that. And then when I kept moving on there, how I went to dog treats and so forth was I have a very, very good friend, and I asked her if she would be part of my show. And she's one of my best friends. I love her to death. Absolutely love her to death. I asked her if she would be part of my show and share with me some of her stories. And she flat out told me no. And again, I love her to death. She's one of my best friends, and she told me no. And I said, why? I said, why would you tell me no? Right. And she said, because she said, it's too depressing. It's too depressing to talk about, stories of pet loss and so forth. And, in all fairness, she's right. It is sad and it is very sad. However, the stories of pet loss and the stories of people's journey isn't for likes. It isn't for subscriptions. What it's for is to help people. It's to help people, A, know that they're not alone, but B, it's to help people heal. It's to help people. You never know, because sometimes when if say a pet passes with regards to like a certain, it could be on a certain, a disease or something like that, your pet may have the same thing. And it something could trigger and say, wow, my dog's going through the same thing. And, it's kind of nice to know maybe they're not in pain or something like that. You just never know how something in your story or your video can help something else, whether it be small or big or anything. Something that you have to offer could change somebody's life, and you just never know. But she had a good point. She had a good point in my thought, because she was right. Yes, they are sad, and yes, they are beneficial. But I did think, well, okay, who does want to go to a channel and watch all pet loss stories? I don't know. She was right? So I decided to branch off and do the kitchen editions where I make dog treats. I thought, well, that's kind of cool, right? We're gonna do some kitchen editions with dog treats and try that out. And because I like making dog treats, and then I just sprung out with those because I thought that was fun. I like to bake. I found those treat makers which are a lot of fun. And I will give a shout out to Dave and Patty, who are watchers. They watch all the time out there in the Chicagoland area, and they watch, and they are very they are very they always make fun of me because I burn my hands on my little treat makers because I use a fork, and they always write my comments that they always write in my comments that I need to use tongs to take out my treats. And they sent me, I'll take these out because these are so cute. So shout out to Dave and Patty. Geez, Lucy. They sent these adorable tongs that are like they look like little cat hands or dog hands, paws, to take out my treats. So when I do my kitchen additions this week, I am going to use these tongs to take out my treats. So shout out to Dave and Patty. I absolutely love it. And I love when you guys send me the pictures. I love when you guys send me the pictures of making the treats. They make the treats every week. I so appreciate it. They've been watchers ever since I started doing this channel, and I appreciate them so very much. Shout out to Carol as well. Well wishes to her. She's up in, unfortunately, she's up in hospital in Chicago. Lots of hugs and well wishes to Carol. She watches the show as well. And again, lots of love and wishes to her right now. I hope she's watching, but hope she's feeling better. But thank you. They actually sent me 3 different sizes, but I love it. These are just so freaking cute. So thank you. Thank you. And my fingers will probably thank you on Tuesday or Wednesday when I do my next video. So I appreciate that. And my fingers appreciate that as well. So thank you for that. And shout out to Brady and Brittany, because they are also very helpful in my videos and my editing. They always like to tell me what looks good and what does not look good on my videos, which is nice. I always like a good critique because honestly, I will be very, very honest with you. Again, like I said, from the beginning, when I decided to do these YouTube videos, I've said from the beginning, I'm not very tech savvy, but this was a goal of mine. My goal was to make YouTube videos so that I could reach more people and to talk about pet loss, to get the message out there, to help people know that they're not alone when they do lose a pet. And it was more important to me to be able to get the information out there than to be an editor. And I don't edit my videos. I always say that. I don't edit my videos because you can't edit life. So when I burn my fingers, when I knock shit on the floor, that is what it is. That's how it happens. And that's life, right? It's just life. So you can't edit life. It's just how it happens. When my dogs knock stuff over, or when they knock the lights over, that's life. So, but anyways, so after we got on the plan of, so after I started doing the dog treats, we just kind of got on the roll of that. Again, we're in 2026. We're going to keep with that, doing the pet loss information. We're going to keep with the live chats. I'm going to still keep doing those every Saturday. I think I like to focus a lot on pet loss and support because that's so needed. Even when I was on Facebook today, there was a person that I follow. Her name is Lauren, the mortician. Her cat passed away, and it's interesting because she's a mortician, and she deals with death all the time. And I love reading her stuff because she talks about human death, and she just lost her I think it was her pug, and she's going through a very, very hard time over the loss of her dog. And it just shows you right there that you can have a lot of human loss, and the difference in pet loss is vastly different. So, hugs go out to her as well with regards to the loss of her dog. And there's also, I mentioned my friend out in Florida, her brother-in-law, Roman, he lost his dog this past week. So lots of hugs out to the Roman and his family and the loss of their dog. Many hugs out to them. It's one of those things where we only get them for a short period of time, and we take for granted sometimes when we do lose them. So we need to honor them when they do drift out of our lives. So yeah, you are 100% correct. Pets love us unconditionally. And that's one of the things that I commented on earlier today. That's one of the vast differences between people and animals. Animals meet you where you are. You can have the worst day in the world. You can have the best day in the world. And that's exactly it. They do not care. They love you no matter what. And you can, I don't want to say you do this all the time, but if you yell at your dog, they're not going to hold a grudge. They're going to be right there and, love you no matter what. Where if you yell at a person, they're going to be like, I ain't talking to them for a while. But, that's the beauty of our animals, and they know when we're sick. I knew like a few years ago when I had COVID, my one dog, I don't think he left my side for 2 days. I don't even think the damn dog ate for a day. He just laid in the bed next to me. God love him. That's the beauty of unconditional love with these animals. They know when we feel good, when we don't. And that's why I think that's why when we lose them, it's so hard, right? And so when people say, oh, it's just a dog, it's just a cat, and it's just kind of like, how in the hell can you say that? How can you say that? And Rosie's coming back over here now. I see her in the back here. But yeah, how can you say it's just a dog, it's just a cat? They love you no matter what. And it's I don't know. Like I said, my mission is to make sure that pet loss and grief is normalized. We have to get to the point where it's a normal thing. And I'm in the process right now of working on a documentary for this year, and it's a huge project I'm working on, and hopefully that it can take off. And but it's something that it needs to be done. And you see Rosie back there; she's digging into my couch for some reason. Rosie, but she, but yeah, pet loss and grief needs to be normalized because it's very important. Yeah. So anyway, so going back on to everything else. Another thing that, with regards to kind of the backstory of my story, I have written 2 books. I've written the definition of, oh, Rosie just threw a pillow at me too. Definition of unconditional love, and another book called Peaceful Pause. And here's Rosie. Say hi, Rosie. So here's Rosie. She's coming to say hi now. But so I've written 2 books over the course of the year. And yeah, so she's poking her head in here. Rosie, shiny love. The girls, when the girls know that it's time for like filming day, they for some reason they know when I have the studio set up, they know that it is time to go. They stand by the door and they are ready to rock. Um, and it's such a cool thing. But yeah, it's such a really cool thing. So they get into it, and I just absolutely love that they like to participate in this. And I'll be very honest. I prior to Rosie, I I never had French. She's looking right. I never had French bulldogs. I always had boxers. I always grew up with boxers. French bulldogs were kind of a new thing for us. Um, oh, what about my books? Okay, you want? Okay, well let me. Okay, so let me. So I okay, so let me tell you about okay, so let me go back to the books. I'll tell you about the books. So the first book is called Peaceful Paws. Peaceful Paws was written. It is it's a book about a dog who actually goes to sleep and wakes up at his grandma's house, which is in heaven, and he goes back and forth to his house in at home, and he watches his family, and he keeps going back to heaven, and he keeps asking his grandma when his mom is coming to see him, and grandma keeps saying it's not her time yet, it's not her time yet. And then at the end of the book, grandma says, let's go meet mom. And mom meets the dog at the end. The reason why I wrote that book was because when I was doing pet loss support groups in person at that time, there was a lot of elderly people that I had done groups for. And many times the elderly people that attended the groups, all of their kids were grown. They were either living alone, they were widowers, and their pets were all they had. And a lot of times when their pets passed, it hit them very hard. Um, there were times when they would break down in meetings and they would say, they wish that they could just go be with their pets. And that was very, very heartbreaking. I life is a very, very precious thing. And I always think that, when it's our time is when we go. And, so that's why I wrote the book, because, we all have a time when we're supposed to go. So the premises of the book is, the dog was saying, when's mom going to get here? When's mom going to get here? Well, it wasn't her time yet. And so that's what I wanted everybody to read, that is like, yes, you will get up there. We will see our animals again when it's our time. Because that's the truth. Like I loved all these guys with all of my heart. And you better believe that when I hit those gates, these are the faces I want to see, plus probably I mean, I hope to God I make it to 100 years old, but these are the faces I want to see, plus plus the probably the next 20 something dogs that I'll have. Yes, I'll place a link in the comments. They're you can find them on Amazon, but I'll place a link in the comments. Absolutely. So but they're but it's when our time is, because my thought is too is I've heard also people will say after they lose a pet that they love very much, that they can't get another a pet, and or they can't get another fur member and so forth. And I think that there's always a right time, and I think you have to wait until the right time is for you and your family. But I think with as many animals that need homes, I think it's a damn shame for a good person that loves loves animals to not give another one a home. And there's an animal out there that needs a home and needs a loving home. And there's so many bad people out there that do so many bad things to animals. And if somebody that with a good heart and a good family and loving kids, or even not loving kids, just a good family can give animals a home, can provide a wonderful life for one, then why not? Because nothing ever replaces the ones you lost. There's no such thing in my book as a replacement. I don't believe in replacements. There's always additions. There's never a replacement. There's also something that I wish it would have came today. There's all these different companies that do these really cool memorials. They do rings, they do necklaces, they do all sorts of things where you could either do ashes or you could do this one. This one did dog fur and ashes. Now I opted for doing like the dog fur because like my urns and so forth, I couldn't open them up. Oh yay! You've read the books. Yay! Thank you. Yay! 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 Hey, thank you. So this company, they do, but anyway, so I could not open, I didn't, well, I'll be very honest. I did not want to open my urns for these guys. But they will do, like if you open the urns and you do take out the ashes and so forth, you can do that and send them parts of the ashes for your dogs. And they will take that and they will put it into rings, necklaces, they have a whole catalog of jewelry, and they'll put that in there and then they'll send it back to you in beautiful jewelry that you can wear. Now, with that being said, I have seen several companies that do this. Hi, Lola. I've seen several companies that do this, and it's rather expensive. But I found another company that does this, and the pricing was wonderful. So I reached out to this company, and I went to because as you know, if you lose a pet, they usually will do the paw print, and they'll do usually a lock of hair along with your urn when you're back. So what I did was I pulled all my urns and their paw prints and fur. I took a little piece of fur from all these guys, plus my Harley. I didn't put his picture down here, but plus my Harley. So I took fur from all of these guys and took little pieces and I mixed them all together and I sent it to this company. And what they're doing is they're taking a piece of all their fur and they're putting it into a ring for me. This really beautiful ring. It's like a big oval ring and it's surrounded by diamonds. And so it's already made. And they sent me an email this past week saying that it was done and it was being shipped back. Now, I thought I was going to get it back today, but it's going to be Wednesday, I guess. So I may just come back on Wednesday and do an unboxing of it because I'm so excited for this ring to come back. But again, you don't have to do fur. You can do crematory remains. If you have access to the remains, and you don't have to send that much of it. They will send whatever they don't use back, which is nice. Oh yay! Thank you. Thank you for putting that in. Thank you. But yeah, so they will send you whatever they don't use. They'll send it back to you, which is great. So anyways, but I'm very excited for that. And I'm going to share that. I'll share that with you, that unboxing of that, because I'm so excited to see it. It's so pretty. But anyways, so that is coming up. Let's see what else here. I'm excited for this week because we're gonna be doing some more recipes coming up. Okay, well, you know what? I will shout out Brittany and Brady again because I shouted them out a little earlier because they do help me with my ideas and and I did earlier. I will say this: I did earlier talk about my my tongs that I received because Dave and Patty just join because I did shout out the beautiful tongs that were sent to me from them because I do absolutely love these. Love, love, love. Now my fingers will not burn. They will not burn when I take those treats out of the treat maker. So I really, really appreciate it. I absolutely love these. They have there's a little heart on the little inside of the paw there. So yeah, but absolutely, absolutely love these. And I absolutely appreciate these. Absolutely appreciate these. Love, love, love. But yeah, absolutely appreciate these. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So absolutely. Anyways, so we've got a lot coming up this week and got a lot of different treats coming up. Yeah, somebody had brought up today, shout out to a new friend. His name is Brent. He's got some cats. Somebody brought up maybe doing some cat treats. I never thought about doing cat treats. And you know, when and I don't know why. I guess we could do cat treats. I guess this was mostly a dog focused program, but we can absolutely do some cat treats. There's a lot of catnip stuff. You know, I guess. Well, you know what? You know, right up here, Midnight. Midnight was my my first cat. I had her for, gosh, I think what 20 years. 20 years I had Midnight. God love her. She was a great cat. She didn't like anybody in the family except for me, and she just she did not like anybody in the family except for me. She didn't even like Brittany, even though I shouted her out twice. She did not like Brittany. She did, but she was a great cat. She was beautiful. She she did live a long life. The dogs did not like her. She did not like the dogs, but I will say that you know, like I said, I've mostly always had dogs. I do love cats, and I think that that is one thing that we should do because I'm pretty sure that I can still do cat treats in my dog treat maker or in some of my little donut makers. But we'll definitely do some cat treats this week. I think that that would be fun. Cat treats would definitely be fun. We can do some catnip stuff. Now, with regards to cats, we do have to be careful because cats are very we have to be very, very careful with cats because you have to be very, very careful with cats and things that you put in there because I will say that when I did my pet loss support groups, the funny thing, or not the funny thing, but the thing about cats, if they do not show signs of being in any kind of peril or they just if when they go downhill fast, unfortunately. So if you give them the wrong thing or if something is failing on them, you will not know basically until it's late. So it is very, very important, and you can see Rosie back there sleeping. It is very important that with our cats, I guess I should move that over here. It is very important with our cats that we do the right thing. So, but like I said, 2026, let's throw some things in for the cats, right? And like I said, we're going to do some. I think we're going to do some more fun things. But like I said, I really definitely want to do more of these live feeds for focus more on pet loss. I mean, anybody in the chat, have you lost any animals or there's any shout outs to any pets on here? Anybody on there? I know Dave and Patty have Violet because I've seen pictures of Violet. They make treats for Violet all the time. Violet's out in Chicago. Violet is a 3-year-old rescue, and she's tan. She's a real little dog. Adorable. Absolutely adorable. She just turned 3. I want to see December. In December, she just turned 3 because Rosie just turned 3 a day after Violet did. So and that's another thing too. We celebrate birthdays on the channel. So if you have a birthday, send me a picture of your dog and their birthday, and I'll shout it out, and I'll shout it out on the channel. Same thing. If you have a story, a pet loss story, I'd love to have you on. Reach out to me, and we'll set up a phone call, and I'll have you on. Because again, it's important to talk about. It's important to share your story, because your story can help people. Your story can, change somebody's life, because pet loss and grief is very, very, very lonely. It's a very, very lonely. Violet says hi to Rosie. Well, you can see Rosie. Rosie's asleep. She's passed out. I don't know where Coco went. Coco's hiding somewhere, probably under the couch. But yeah, pet loss is it's very, very, it's a very lonely place sometimes. And I'll tell you what, I was talking to somebody earlier this week, and unfortunately their dog is at the tail end. Oh, and Noir. Yep, and Noir. Oh, well, Violet's saying hello to Noir. Yeah, Noir is my grand dog, and she's 5 years old. She is a beautiful dog. She gets treats all the time. She's a beautiful, beautiful dog. But yes, Noir is a very, very beautiful dog. But yeah, so the what was I? Okay, so anyways, you threw me off track there. But yeah, so I'm looking at a little Rosie sleeping there, and Lola's walking around. But anyway, so back on track. Oh, well, yes, it is Rosie's bedtime. Actually, I was gonna say, oh wait, oh, Coco just got up too. She's up. She was under the couch there. Now Rosie's up too. I know. Are you coming up here? You coming to say hi? Are you coming to say hi? Oh, yeah. See, they're all getting jumpy on me now. But yeah, but it is like you said. The main mission of this channel is just to get the word out there. I really want to be able to help people, and just to let people know that they have a place to come if they need to, if they want to know that there's other people out there that they can they can have support when they lose their pet. Because again, it's there's people out there that aren't pet people, unfortunately, and it's sad when you have the world that say, oh, it's just a dog, it's just a cat, I don't know why you're grieving. And unfortunately, I mean, we've had people that are in the same families that do that to other family members. That sucks. That's horrible. Or we've had family members tell other family members to get over it, and that's also bad. But what I was saying before, so when it comes to pets that are at the end of their life, I have a friend right now that her pet's is at the end of its life, and it's at the point where I think that she said her dog is 15, and they did the whole running tests on it, and they're keeping the dog comfortable. It's not in any kind of pain at all, and she was telling me that the vet is put it on special foods and all this stuff, and she was asking me, she was saying it's almost like they make you feel kind of guilty if you don't buy the $100 food and so forth, and I was telling her, I said, it's not that they want to make you feel guilty. It's the fact that, like, there's different kind of pet parents. there's pet parents that you see this. There's different kind of pet parents. There's pet parents that come here. There's pet parents that um, will be like, I want to do anything possible. I will donate a kidney if possible. Um, and that's perfectly fine. Uh, there's look at Coco. That's perfectly fine. And then there's pet parents that are like, hey, I know my pet is 15 years old or 16 years old, and um, they're at the end of their life. And there's no amount of $100 dog food that is going to keep them alive for another 5 years. You see Coco. There's no amount of dog food that's going to keep them alive for another, so many years. So, like I told her, I said, that's why. I said, they're not trying to make you feel guilty. They just don't know where you are as a pet parent. And they don't want to offend you and be like, hey, if you don't, they just don't want to offend you. So, like I told her, I said, you don't have to buy the $100 dog food. I said, for God's sakes, I said, the dog's 15 years old. He should be freaking eating McDonald's cheeseburgers at this point. So you can basically give the dog anything he wants. I wouldn't give him chocolate, of course, because it'll hurt his stomach. But basically, they're keeping him comfortable. He's happy. He's not in any pain. But I think sometimes vets get a little bit of a bad rap. My Sweet Pea, she was my littlest dog. Here she is in the picture here. My little Sweet Pea here, I mean, she lived, to 17, 18 years old. And probably for the last 2 years of her life, she, they kept saying, let's run all these tests and run all these tests. And I kept, all this blood work and stuff. And I kept saying, why? What are you trying to find? I mean, she's a senior dog. She's towards the end of her life. I mean, again, things are she's old, she's an older dog. So, just like when, I'll be old one day too. And I'm sure there's going to be things going wrong with me. So, do you want to pay $500 and you want to pay $500 and blood tests to tell me that, her numbers are off? No, she's an older dog. She's supposed to have her numbers off when she's, a million years old in dog years. So, but again, I think that, I think sometimes there's just a lot of miscommunication. And when you're a pet owner, if you're just upfront with your vets and tell them, hey, this is where I'm at. I love my animals and I just want to keep them comfortable towards the end of their life. Then your pet will be, or your vet will be on the same page with you, and they'll say, hey, then let's do the more holistic and keep them comfortable. Here's the meds and be done with it. So, same thing, with the, there's different options too with regards to when it's time to say goodbye. There's people that they'll come to your house. There's a lot of different options for that. So it just depends on what route you want to take for that. If you want to do it at home, I think that's kind of nice. There's a lot of people that will do it at their house. I think the only thing that I don't know. I toy with the thought of having it done at my house. I mean, I know that sometimes people will say that. It's nice to have your dog put down at your house. However, you're always going to have that memory though too. I mean, you're always going to have to walk into that room. You're always going to have to walk by that room. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want to always have that memory. I mean, granted, you're always going to have the memory of the final moments anyways. But I mean, are you always going to want to have that memory of walking past that room? I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to, how you want to handle it, and then you always have to ask yourself, who do you want there? Are you going to be okay with, wanting your whole family there? Or are you going to be okay with having your kids there? There's a lot of questions there. So just different things that you ask yourself, and just a lot of questions. But that's, luckily, if you're lucky enough, you can plan for things like that. Hopefully it's not some sort of emergency situation, where you can actually maybe plan the end of life situation, because that makes things a little bit easier sometimes than being in an emergency, because emergencies are not great. But, if you're able to plan it out and have, a little bit level head, makes it a little easier. But anyways, so, well, I think that tonight has been wonderful. Thank you all for stopping by. We are going to have another live chat. I think this, another one, like I said, I'm supposed to get that ring this week, probably on Wednesday. And when I do, I really want to do a live unboxing of it. So I'm going to say, I want to do another one on Wednesday when I get it, because I'm not going to be able to wait until Saturday to do another live chat and unbox it. So I say that I'll schedule another one for when I get that ring, because I really want everybody to see it. And I really want to plug that company, because that company had some amazing communication. They had some amazing communication. So yeah, if it turns out as beautiful as I think this ring is, I really want to give them some credit. So yeah, as soon as I get it, I'm gonna throw in a live chat so that everybody can see it at the same time. Look forward to a kitchen edition this week, probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know if I'm going to surprise and do some cat treats. It might be cat treats. It might be dog treats. I'm probably going to do cat treats. I might as well. We have not honored the cats. We should probably do cats. Probably do cats. Let's do cats, right? Probably do cats, right? We love the cats. Hell, we might as well do guinea pigs or something out, right? Yeah, let's shout out to the cat community. I agree. Hell, I mean, like I said, we might branch out and do guinea pigs, or hell, throw in birds. We got birds too, right? See what else there is. Because you know what? Side note, now that I'm getting like distracted on this too, that is one thing as well. When I did the pet loss support groups, it wasn't just dog and cat people that would show up to group meetings. It was amazing, the people that showed up and what they showed up. Like, we had people that had naked rats, snakes, birds, rabbits. I mean, you would be amazed at all the different animals that people like grieved. Armadillos. It was not limited to just dogs and cats. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. The amount of people that would come, and it just, again, pet loss and grief does not skip. It does not skip people and what they have. So yeah, it was so fascinating. It was so fascinating to see hear the animals that people have. And again, I was very, very blessed, very, very blessed to be able to be a part of people's lives. So it was just such a wonderful, wonderful thing to be able to have people come and trust me and share their stories with me. It was just such a yes, shout out to the parakeet. Oh yeah, Luigi and Sky. Absolutely. Shout out to parakeets. You know what? We also have parakeets. I have we've got one, two, three, four, and then we've got two upstairs. Yeah, we've got what, five parakeet. I've got five parakeets. That's a long, that'll be another live YouTube live on that story. But yes, I've got five parakeets. I've got three dogs. But it looks like Dave and Patty have two parakeets, Luigi and Sky. But yeah, shout out to the parakeet people. Because yeah, we tried to train four of them to fly, and then but we got two of them to fly like around the room. So that's Bobo and Bobette or whatever they were named. But yeah, they fly around the room, and then like one doesn't fly too well, just kind of like flies into the walls every once in a while. But anyway, so yeah, we decided to join the parakeet group. But yeah, but yeah, these it's just amazing. Like I said, what people have, and um, again, like we're so lucky. We're so lucky just to be blessed by people trusting us with their stories. Absolutely trusting us with their stories, and that's why I loved it. That's why I loved it, and that's why I was so compelled to make sure that this continued. Whether one person watches this or whether you know 10,000 people watch it, if it helps one person, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. Um, because I know that when I needed it the most, it was priceless. It was priceless. And it didn't matter. It didn't, it didn't matter. I mean, that's what the important thing was. The important thing was that it was there. It was there for when I needed it. So if one person clicks on this and gets something out of it, or if one person clicks on this and finds comfort in some of the stories that they're going to see on these lives, or some comfort and or laughter, and who knows, me burning my fingers or dropping shit or something, whatever it is, then then it makes it worth it to me. I mean, because that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. So anyways, but yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And it's about 2026 being a great year, because that's what it's going to be. Going to be a lot of great things. A lot of great things happening this year. I know it. And like I said, I'm working on that documentary and some wonderful things coming up. Thank you again for everybody that has tuned in today. Like I said, we're going to be doing this again next week. And please stop by. I'll have everything listed, and we'll have the videos coming up on this week. Again, Tuesday or Wednesday, you'll see an upload on it. Please do not, miss tuning in. Please tell all your friends about us. Hit the like, comment, subscribe buttons. And if you don't have a friend, you have a few now, even though they're sleeping on the, well, I don't know if you can see. No, I don't know. Oh, she's on the stairs over there. But if you don't have a friend, you have a few now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for everybody on the chat that has chatted in. You are all wonderful, and you all mean a lot to me. So take care. Have a good night. Bye. Bye.